Breaking today, growing fears of a constitutional crisis if King Charles goes ahead with a meeting with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle this weekend. That potential raised fascinatingly by Katie Nichols, the royal editor of Vanity Fair, who just so happens to be one of those journalists who Prince Harry tried to destroy in his Daily Mail court case, but now she, feeling emboldened for very good reason, believes that she probably has the information to destroy him. I mean, who genuinely now believes, after this week, that Prince Harry can remain a Councillor of State, signing off on laws? Who genuinely believes that Prince Harry can remain on the royal website? And who even genuinely believes that Prince Harry can remain in the line of succession? Not me. So, P. Dinah, do you believe that this could end up resulting in a constitutional crisis, and that is one of the reasons why Prince William and Queen Camilla have been so keen to tell King Charles, like, just stay away?
Absolutely. And I think part of the reason is, once again, Meghan and Harry are not at agreement with each other. And so she is still influencing the things that Harry is doing, which is a direct influence or, on the monarchy, because the king is still kind of supporting Harry. I think it's just not good. You have seen what they have done in the past. Learn from that. They have already put a lot of things out there that don't look good for the monarchy in terms of the allegations that Harry is trying to walk back now, around the racism and around things that, Meghan had complaints with. So as long as Meghan is still a part of the picture, you have to distance yourself from Harry, because nothing good is going to come from that. I mean, any leeway you give to Harry is going to pass over to Meghan, and then we know she has a vendetta. We know that she has reasons to not want to align the way the royals want them to align, because she wants to have her say. So that's just never going to be good. You're just asking for trouble, and I think it could be a direct reflection to the monarchy, when there is still this couple trying to dictate things for their own careers, their own futures,
Yeah.
because we know that they've failed already.
Well, indeed,
right?
and P. Dinah as well, there's also the reality this week that by coming into the country and by bringing Meghan and the children in, potentially, if we actually believe it, because we can't trust a thing they say,
Yeah.
P. Dinah. We've got to wait until we see it with our own eyes. But there is the argument, which is even being made by the mainstream media, by the way, because I'm going to show you Kate Mansi and Roy Anika of the Times and the Sunday Times, respectively, that by doing that, Harry has just completely undermined the argument that he has spent months making, that the country is too unsafe. I mean, he absolutely has undermined his own argument. And this is why he went so hard to get the security, of course, because he has to bring them. And he's not... Can everyone... This is what frustrates me and infuriates me when I see this mainstream media coverage. He doesn't give a damn about King Charles. Can we just be honest about why he's bringing the children? He has to take them to... Well, if he is indeed bringing the children, he needs to try and take them to Althorpe to film for the documentary, which they want to put up to market for the 30th anniversary of Princess Diana's death. And being able to have some footage of that, even if it's only mobile phone footage, is significantly going to up the value. So can we please just stop talking about the fact that there's any type of altruistic element to it, P. Dinah?
Now, reports of a private meeting involving King Charles and his grandchildren, Archie and Lilibet, have once again sparked intense debate. According to recent reports, King Charles spent private time with Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, and their children during a UK visit. The meeting was said to be quiet, personal, and away from public attention. As expected, Buckingham Palace did not release detailed information. And that silence created a wave of speculation. Some commentators described the moment as meaningful, a grandfather reconnecting with his grandchildren. Others went much further, suggesting the meeting had wider implications for the monarchy itself. Let's address the biggest headline. Some commentary has used the phrase constitutional crisis. But what does that actually mean? In reality, a constitutional crisis involves serious conflict over how a country is governed, something that affects institutions, laws, or the balance of power. A private family meeting does not, by itself, meet that definition. So why use such dramatic language? Because in today's media environment, attention is everything. And few stories attract attention like the royal family. So why are Archie and Lilibet central to this conversation? Because they represent the next generation of the royal line. They are part of the line of succession. They connect two worlds, royal tradition and a more independent, global life outside the UK. For some observers, their relationship with King Charles symbolizes hope for healing. For others, it raises questions about how the modern monarchy will evolve. At its core, this isn't just a constitutional discussion. It's a family story.
I don't know, Dan. I think there is an emotional connection, I think, that Harry has with his children to see his world, to see his life. I feel that Harry wants that, but I think he's being pulled back from that because of Meghan. She doesn't want to align with the royals anymore. And so Harry is doing what he has to do. I believe his obligation to trying to get this footage for the Diana documentary, but I also believe that Harry wants his children to have a life that includes what Harry knows and what is close to him and how he was brought up. And so he's trying to do that, but he can't really do it the way he wants to do it because of what Meghan is doing. Because I believe they're arguing behind the scenes. They don't want the same things. And this is why when we hear about the security and everything, it makes no sense because it's a lie, Dan. It's a complete lie. It is Meghan making these problems for Harry, and he looks like the idiot because we know there's no security threat. There's no problem. But I do believe Harry wants his children to have some connection with his father. I believe that.
See,
I do.
what's interesting, P. Dinah, and I actually want to show you Meghan Kelly, my friend Meghan Kelly, telling my other brilliant, one of my heroes actually of broadcasting, Paul Murray of Sky News Australia, that Prince Harry now has a genuine sickness, and it's a sickness involving paranoia. But what that means is that he is now trying to sue people just for telling the truth. Prince Harry has always been trying to raise the wrong sense of awareness over his mother's death. I mean, if this really was just about his mother's death, then she's right. He would consider backing an anti-drink drive organization. He'd consider backing a campaign to make people wear seatbelts in cars. I mean, I don't say this lightly, P. Dinah. I know how much you adored her too. Princess Diana's death means I never get into a car without a seatbelt on now. I don't care how short the journey is. Her death changed that forever for me. And I will never forget it. You know, he has created a fantasy battle where he's a fantasy player. And unfortunately, there have been a lot of bad actors, P. Dinah, who have put this idea into his head. But at the end of the day, he's an adult. He's a grown adult. He's a man in his 40s. He's got to reposition now. He's got to move on.
Yeah. And, you know, I think part of the reason why he does that is because he wants to align his mother's life with his wife's life. He wants to compare the two. So he wants to show that, well, my wife is having the same problems as my mother, but they're not. They're made up. You don't see paparazzi chasing Meghan like it was a Vespa, okay? Like they want to create the illusion of Meghan going through the same ills as his mother, and it's just not true. Yeah, go on and take on a drunk driver, mad, Mothers Against Drunk Drivers. That's where your focus should be. But see, that would make too much sense. That would be where you really would have to do the alignment. You know, and so this is why this whole thing around the press chasing them and trying to, you know, have this security is a lie because it's based on something that he's created in his head, a fantasy around this alignment with his mother. Because I think they want to try to get the likes of Diana to, you know, be like Diana will give them the same kind of stardust, right? To make people really love them if they can align Meghan's problems with what Diana had. And it's just not true, right? So I could go on and on about that because I think that's why she went to complain about the royals, because Diana complained about the royals, but she was
Yes.
still pro-monarchy, right? But Meghan did it as well, thinking she was going to be like Diana, and it completely backfired. So there's a lot of things that they're doing that is deceptive and it's not true. This is why it makes no sense, because it's a lie, you know?
Totally. There was one other interesting moment of the week, P. Dinah, that I wanted to play you, because I've been saying for some time that Prince Harry is no longer hiding his breakdown.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, breakdown, problems in the marriage. There's fighting going on behind the scenes. Absolutely. It makes no sense to have all of this disorder and disarray of what we're doing, what we're not doing, all the security we need. And it's like, get a hold of yourself, handle yourself. Like, you are completely losing it right now. This is not that difficult, but they're making it that way because they've got problems behind the scenes that we don't see. And so the things that they're putting out there are chaotic. They don't make sense because they are completely losing it behind the scenes. That is exactly how I see it. What she said is exactly right. It's a complete breakdown of the marriage, of Harry's mental stability. Like, nothing's working out for them. How can it? I mean, you just have ulterior motives to do things that you want and you're not getting it. And so you're losing your minds. Your lives are completely falling apart. It's going to get worse and worse. The more they try to brand and get out there to do all these different things to make money, the worse it's going to get. They're a complete disaster, both of them, Harry and Meghan. And I believe because Harry's the one out there the majority of the time, a lot of this is actually coming from Meghan, that Harry's projecting out to everyone else, right? Yeah, it's crazy what's happening right now behind the scenes.
Prince Harry has publicly said he wants reconciliation. Years of public interviews, documentaries, and his memoir Spare have made that reconciliation more complex. Trust, once broken, is not easily rebuilt. So when a private meeting takes place, it becomes more than just a visit. It becomes a signal, interpreted in different ways by different people. The public response has been divided. Some see the meeting as a positive step forward, a chance for healing, a reminder that, behind the titles, this is still a family. Others remain skeptical. They question whether true reconciliation is possible after years of public disagreement. And some commentators go further, turning personal moments into dramatic narratives about the future of the monarchy. This is where it's important to separate fact from interpretation. What we know. A meeting reportedly took place. What we don't know. What was said behind closed doors. What it means for the future. Or whether it signals lasting change. Everything beyond that is interpretation. So where does the story go from here? Will Prince Harry and King Charles continue rebuilding their relationship? Will Prince William eventually be part of that process? Will Archie and Lilibet have a stronger connection to the royal family in the future? Right now, no one outside the family knows. But one thing is certain. The world will continue watching. Because this story isn't just about titles, headlines, or institutions. It's about family, legacy, and the future of a monarchy trying to adapt in a modern world. And whether you see this moment as hopeful or complicated, it's clear that the conversation is far from over. Now we want to hear from you. Do you think this meeting was a step toward reconciliation? Or are the divisions still too deep? Share your thoughts respectfully in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more royal news and analysis. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.